What's good? It's Chigozy. It's Thursday, February 7th, 2019, and I was asked to do more prediction videos regardless of the outcome. And I like that idea too. It just shows a nice, clean way you can apply this knowledge. It makes this more actionable. And I love giving actionable information. And here, how I like to do it a lot is to show you how the stock market is completely rigged and scripted by the system, and not because a number shows up and the stock just happens to move with the number, is because stocks are news driven things for the most part. And especially things like Facebook, Tesla, they're all news driven. And all news is a euphemism for Freemasonic, Zionist Jew, false flag, fake news propaganda. So it's by a numerical system, which means that these ups and downs, a lot of them are influenced by what's coming out in the media. So if you're able to predict what's going to come out in the media, you are able to predict what type of activity will be out that day based on the company. What's always not clear is if it'll go up or down, and that's what the technical analysis will help you, but even then. But again, it helps you understand that tomorrow is 2/8. So possibly Facebook could have some propaganda that they're going to be participating in. The word data equals 28. They could have some data breach. And this is an example, it doesn't have to be that. It could just be them coming out talking about that again. It could be them about something completely different. Thelema 28, Israel 28. The numbers for Thelema and Israel, Saturn, but mainly Israel, Thelema, and Facebook are the numbers you use for Facebook propaganda. So here you see now, on the 7th, there was some bad news on Facebook about some data, not data breach, but Facebook stock drops as Germany moves to limit data collection. And it's funny, Germany is limiting data collection and Facebook stock goes down. What does that tell you? What did I say when their stock was even lower? Or actually it was higher at that time, but it wasn't uptrending. I said things like Facebook can sell off. It doesn't really matter. Why you can have faith in this, because it's a Zionist Jew, Freemasonic, mind control, information gathering machine from the federal government. This is how they collect your data and all these things. So when the government data collection agency can't collect as much data, the value in the company goes down. What does that tell you? That means the only value for Facebook is to collect your data, is to put out more propaganda, propagate it through their system, to censor things, and to distract the goy. Literally, this stock chart's telling you the markets never lie, so they can't argue it. When they get censored for their data collection, the price goes down. When they can collect as much data as they want, which they still do, it goes up. So enough talking. We're going to see how this is by the numbers. Here, on this SMA line, the simple moving average, which is just an average of all the closing prices for the last 180 days. And pretty much, if the stock is like bouncing up on this thing, and this thing starts pointing up, it's sign of a uptrend. It's still kind of trying to make its decision, and my video thing's blocking, but maybe I can try to show you if I can move this up. Or you can see over here, this right here, this MACD indicator, this shows how much, I guess, buying momentum's been part of it. So people, buying, hyping it up. But you see how it's like, it was super green, now it's fading out. It looks like this buying momentum's going down. So it's not in the favor of this. So this very well could sell off tomorrow based on this. But it always can go up. So that's what I'm showing you, that because you can say, okay, Facebook might participate in some propaganda tomorrow, but how do I know if it's going to be good or bad? You would wait for the day to happen. You would wait for some price action. Wait to see consistent, ups and downs, as in on like a 1 minute chart or 15 minute or whatever time frame you like. That's better than a 1 day. That's more, I guess, relevant for that day. If it's going higher highs and lower lows, like kind of like this, you know there's some steam building up, and then you can jump in probably with that, or you can see some negative sentiment, and you can see what they're going to talk about. So again, Israel 28, Lima 28, Data 28, tomorrow's 2/8, and what also got me, this is what really helped me think that Facebook's going to participate tomorrow. Mark Zuckerberg, his birthday is May 14th, Catholic 145, Lima 35, Catholic 35. So May 14th, 1984. Think about 1984, George Orwell, spying, data collection. That's why he's born in 84. That's why he's used in this type of propaganda. So from Mark Zuckerberg's birthday, from tomorrow to his upcoming birthday, you'll see how much it is. When you include the end date, actually, I didn't see this side. I did it from his past birthday, and we'll see that. But from tomorrow to his upcoming birthday, how old is he going to be? 35, Thelema 35, Catholic 35. It's 3 months, 7 days. Israel equals 37. So this is what you do. You notice how Israel equals 28, 37. See what I'm saying? 3 months, 7 days from his birthday and 2/8. Freemason 96. The Key of David 135. But it's also 13 weeks and 4 days from his birthday. Tisha B'Av equals 134. And that really helps you with your analysis. Tisha B'Av, the destruction of the two temples. And this is also, painted on, he knows all about Tisha B'Av. It's a day of mourning that he observes because he's a Jew, a false Jew, as told in Revelation 3:9. Jewish 34, he's 34, murder 34. So we get this destructive number, 13:4, again, connecting to Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, 9/11, Tisha B'Av equals 9/11, the Jewish cipher. That's why 9/11 they had one of the two towers fall, the World Trade Centers. So you get this pattern, right? So then you corroborate that with your technical analysis. And if you're someone who likes to naked trade, not using any indicators at all, that's perfectly fine. That means again, this is a support here, up here. You can wait for some confirmation. You don't need these lines to figure anything out. You don't even need the MACD, but if you like to use indicators, they can help you as well. You can see how the MACD is overextended. Even look at the RSI. That means it's overbought. A lot of people have been buying. It's time to sell. See the lines pointing down. And again, this SMA, it's not pointing up. It's still pointing down. And this EMA is curving. Like, it looks like this is going to sell off, not bounce off this, and go down. The question is when. And that's why I'm guessing it's 2/8. It could be 2/9 because what I'm about to show you, without counting the end date, you get the number. But it makes more sense to be on 2/8 just for the Israel number, the Lima. So from his 34th birthday till tomorrow is 271 days. 271 is the 58th prime number. Facebook equals 58. I mean, I've been building it up for this. This is probably the biggest piece of evidence here, but Facebook equals 58. 271 is the 58 prime. So that's also what helps me think this. Facebook equals 31. And now we're going to talk about back testing. How do you know? That's the beauty of applying this to the stock market, because you have so much data you can go all the way back to the beginning of Facebook if you want, the beginning of their stock, and see each day what happens. And you can find like the nice big green candles and see, okay, what date numerology was that? Or the red candles, what date numerology was that? And here's what I like. Look at their earnings. Look at their last two earnings. This earnings right here, you see the light bulb. That means there's like a earnings report that day. That's what that means. What date is that? January 30th. Day with 31 numerology. 30 plus 1, 31. Look at this one. October 30th. 10/30, 30/10, 31. Facebook equals 31. Both their last earnings. 31. That's why this is so beautiful. You can literally just use this and see all the participating shit by the numbers. And then you can like see this big candle here. This is December 26, 2018. So you can just put that in the calculator, see what type of numerology was on that day. You can then go on Google. You can search specific dates for the news. No, it's probably December 26. What was that? Make sure. Yes, it's 26. Dates with, it's the 360th day of the year. Revelation 49. So this one's not too familiar with what they've been doing, but understand like Facebook also it's like a little different. Tesla usually, before I forget, space equals 28. Tesla can definitely participate in some stock moving propaganda tomorrow too. But like Facebook, they're in a lot of other like tech sector like involved things. There's more things that kind of play with them. So it's all about finding like the general pattern. Like this day it gapped up from their earnings. You can see the date numerology of that, but I always want to find like the candles that aren't as obvious. Or even this big sell-off this day. This right here, there could be some bad news. That's the 19th, December 19th, 2018. Day with 31 numerology. See what I'm saying? Day with 31 numerology. It's another day with 49 numerology. Just like how that big green candle is a day with 49 numerology. So you do this enough times, you compile the data, you can put it in a spreadsheet, you calculate the probability of the things that happen based on the date numerology, and then you just create a high probability strategy with that data, and you can actually then successfully trade. Because to trade anything, you just need a high probability, or not even super high probability, just any strategy where you understand its probability. So you can control your risk and your reward based on that. That's why you can objectively use this type of knowledge and trade the markets. It's especially when all the news is driven on this numerological system. October 24th, 2018, and a big sell-off that day too. October 24th, 2018. Wait, that's not what that was. Yeah, it was. Okay. Day was 72, numerology 45, 34, murder 34, bad numbers, bad news from them. Oh, technology equals 124. That's exactly what this was. Technology equals 124 on October 24th. One of the main leaders in the tech sector has a huge sell-off, and it's a day with 34 numerology. Although that's not really fair because 124 is always 34, so that means that this is not that strong for that part of it. Because I'm sure every single year it doesn't sell off on that day. Who knows? It could. And if it does, then you should be shorting Facebook on October 24th every single year. And you can always go back in the charts and see what happens on October 24th. So I don't want to make this video terribly long. I want to keep it informative. I want to make some on Tesla. I have some Tesla predictions. Like I think there's going to be some big activity, maybe a reversal on the 12th. That's the next day with 44 numerology. And I think it's like 190. I'm going to make a video on it, but I think it's like 19 weeks and 3 days too from Elon Musk's birthday. 193 is the 44th prime. But look at their last reversal. January 24th, 2019. Day with 44 numerology. So if anyone's been watching my videos, if you go watch my Tesla video, I don't remember which one it was, but I've had a few where I show you how to predict their stock price. What did I teach in there? I said that you can predict the reversals using the number 44 specifically in the dates and the numerology. This is what I taught, and their last most recent reversal happened on a date with 44 numerology. Space equals 44. You know, I gotta go back and check Facebook on that day because it looks like a ripe day for Facebook to have done something that day. Israel 44, but space equals 44, Musk equals 44. You see how I did with 44 numerology right here. It's selling off. See this downtrend, and then bam, first green day right here, and then the reversal, and now they hit this SMA line, and now it's selling off. This is, of all the indicators, this is my personal favorite. Besides, I guess like a couple others are really good. This one just because the stock reacts so nicely to it all the time. If it's trending under it, you bet that usually it's gonna bounce off. So you can predict things better. And then guess what? It breaks above, then it starts to hold off for a bit. But you see how it's struggling to even hold above this thing. It'll break above, sell off, break above, sell off. Now it's breaking above again, selling off. And they can have even more negative news tomorrow, space 28, to complete that. Or it could be good, But again, looking there at MACD, doesn't look too good. But I'm just showing you, this is a real thing. They with 44 numerology, the reversal. Remember on April 4th, they had a big pump. This is a Masonic pump and dump from the Freemasons, the federal government. On 6/6, this also one. When you read out 33, you get 66. Tesla 33. I've called all these out before, as in I didn't predict them all, but I've shown them in my other videos. See this that's like the biggest candle on this page too. I can't believe this. Like, I mean, it just shows. You see the size of these candles. Look how big this is. Big green candle, huge. Open up at $252, hit highs of 288. That's 4/4, 2018, space 44, must 44. You get how this is by the numbers? Do you get how you can use this information? There was also a day with 47 numerology, a day with 271 days remaining, the 58th prime, Freemasonry 58, Sun 27, time 2047. Freemason's compass set at 47 degrees. And again, how do you easily tell when it's like at a support level? It's here, it's like at a low, it's been oversold. You can see this MACD, very red. People were selling. And you can kind of tell it's like not as red anymore. It starts to curve up. This indicator telling you how overbought or sold it is starts to point up. So if that's happening, I mean, it's just perfect. Look at on 4/4 and look at the indicators. Like even before the day, you can see people are starting to pick it up. So it's been a safe time to buy here. And knowing that it's 4/4, shit looks like it's reversing. It looks like it's bouncing off support level. You should be confident to buy because it's 4/4. That's what I'm trying to show. You want to combine support and resistance levels with this gematria. Again, as support, having earnings. What was that on 1, 2, 3? Yeah, remember this day. Conspiracy equals 1, 2, 3. Numbers for conspiracy, Freemason, and space, Tesla propaganda reacts to. 10, 23, 1, 2, 3. This is supposed to be a Facebook video, but I'm just going over this. So if you want more examples of how this works, so you can, and again, it's not just Facebook and Tesla. All these really big companies that you see on Netflix, Amazon, Google, they all participate in this type of activity. PG&E, I showed you that one. We all know about PG&E, their stock tumbling and all this. I told you how you could play the recovery, and there was some nice recovery in that one. So here again, you see it's like at a low. This is a day with 44 numerology. Yes, it broke previous supports, but still, it's just becoming oversold. it's hard to really still tell the indicators in this day, but still, you could have been more confident. And look at this. So that's it. I think Facebook should have some bad news tomorrow, and it'll sell off. But again, it could push up and go skyrocket. But what I'm trying to say is Facebook should have some activity tomorrow. If not then the day after. And again, February 8th, and this is what I'm saying, February 8th is the date with 49 numerology. So although our analysis, we only used 2 other dates, you want to use as much as possible. December 26th, they had some big moves, 49 numerology. And then another date too, December 19th, 49 numerology. One of these days with a big sell-off, one was a big push-up, if I can remember correctly. So dates with 49 numerology looks like they like to act in propaganda. Revelation 49, Scottish 49. They run Facebook because Freemasonry equals 58, like Scottish. And they very well could be some Scottish or Freemasonic ritual with Facebook. So I really hope to see what happens tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's like, I mean, you can even use this to see the narrative. Maybe they're trying to appeal the German order to stop combining data. And what if tomorrow they says, oh, they can't appeal it, or just something new comes out? I don't know. German, look, I mean, it's just stuff like this. German, Facebook, 5831. This is by the numbers propaganda. Do you get it? So you see how this is working. I mean, I'm giving people the key. I hate it when people say this. Like, I show people this knowledge, they'll be like, oh, maybe one day you can show me that, you can figure out the stock market. Show me the secret to the stock market. And I tell them, I'm like, I kind of already have. Because if all the news is run by the numbers, then you already have a nice key to how this works. And you can create high probability strategies doing it. And then they'll be like, I was like, well, what the fuck do you want then? And I'm showing you now, German and Facebook, some do the same thing. I don't know how many more examples you need. They participate in all this propaganda together. All by the numbers. Today was the day with 28 numerology. Israel 28. Belima 28. The 38th day of the year. That's why they sold off. Death, killing, murder 38. So tomorrow's also the 39th day of the year. 39 books of the Old Testament. Revelation 3:9 talking about this motherfucker, Mark Zuckerberg, the false Jews, the synagogue of Satan. I think tomorrow's a ripe day for Facebook. Again, I can always be wrong. They might not do anything tomorrow, but it's very ripe. And the main part, again, is 271 days from his birthday, the 58th prime, Facebook 58, Freemason 58. Peace out.